Hey everybody, this is Jim, and I want to provide a short video presentation explaining how to do the theory matrix and also the final concept map. Both of these assignments, the theory matrix and the final concept map, are built on the leadership process model for the course. And if you click on theory matrix and go down, here is the leadership model that the course is based upon. And I will pull up a larger one here. This leadership process model, Dunham and Pearce argue that leadership is a complex process, a dynamic, interactive process of 5 things: the leader, the follower, the context, and the context can be formal or informal. It can be a family unit, the place of business, the sports. It's where the leadership is occurring. And then the process of influence, the way that influence is occurring, and many of the skills that we learned in ALEC 102 fit in at this point. And then the outcomes. And so leadership is always an interaction of these 5 elements, these 5 variables: leader, follower, context, the process of influence, and then the outcomes or the results. So now what you're doing in your theory matrix then is taking each approach, each theory that we look at, and I'll pull up the matrix here, each approach and theory that we look at in the semester. So far we've looked at trait and skills, and now we're on behavioral, and we're going to do transformational leadership, authentic leadership, servant leadership, adaptive, situational, path goal theory, LMX theory, leadership ethics, team leadership. So for each unit, you are then going to explain how that approach defines, argues the implications of this approach for each of the 5 elements in this process model: the leader, the follower, the context, the process, and the outcome. So for example, under skills approach, it argues there's 3 main skills for the leader: a technical skill, human skill, conceptual skill. It also argues that there is a model where the leader uses problem-solving skills and social judgment skills and knowledge, and together those produce an outcome where the leader is able to perform and able to solve problems. So you can see for each of these approaches then, you're putting it into this process model that explains how leadership works. And you do this each week, filling it in, and then on 3 different days, and the first one is next week, we will collect your matrix with what you have in it up to that point, and for each of those times you'll get 10 points, and then the final matrix is worth 20 for a total of 50. And the purpose of this is to make sure that you're getting the right kinds of information in, but also keeping up and not leaving it to the end, because it's a lot to fill in if you leave it in the end. So you want to do it as you go. So that is the theory matrix. And the theory matrix is the basis for your final individual term project, the concept map. And I'll load up the concept map. This is your final project, and if you load it up on module, it explains here the concept map and then also the grading rubric. And I'll pull up the concept map here. There's the grading rubric, and we'll go over that in a minute. And then here's the concept map. So this assignment is based upon the objectives of the course, because again, part of what we're doing with this course is identifying and describing the major theoretical approaches to leadership, recognizing how leadership theory informs and directs the way leadership is practiced, and then seeing that leadership is a complex, dynamic process of traits and behaviors and situations, influence, those 5 elements: the leader, follower, context, ways of influence, and outcomes. So this final concept map, what you're doing here is you're creating an image, a metaphor, an illustration, a picture of all the different theories and approaches to leadership and putting them within one image or one map. Some examples are a restaurant menu where each item on the menu was a different approach or a different theory. Others have used a puzzle where each piece of the puzzle is an approach or a theory. Some have used a tree where each approach and theory is a branch on the tree. So you have an image, creativity is encouraged. You could think of a hobby or your major or personal interests, and that will help you develop a particular image or map that you want to use. If you need some ideas, you can go to YouTube and search mind mapping instructions, and you'll see some videos that will generate some ideas for you. So then within that map, you're including on each approach and each theory, you're outlining that theory, explaining how it fits into the leadership process model, the Dunham-Pierce model, and then you're documenting when and how that theory is appropriate. And you may have this right in the concept map on the picture or the illustration. You may have it in a PowerPoint presentation or a Prezi, or you may have this in a document that comes with your visual image. So, and your visual image, it can be a poster. You can put it on a poster, or you can make it digitally. But you'll have your concept map and then all the information that goes with it. And a lot of this information is coming right off your theory matrix as you explain and define, outline that theory or approach, and then explain when and how it is appropriate. So then during the final week of the term, you will be doing a 3 to 5 minute presentation of your concept map. And you will upload that presentation here on Canvas. And what you're doing is going over the concept map and walking us through it and explaining how it shows how all your leadership theories and concepts fit together. I'd encourage you to check out screencast-o-matic.com. That's a free website that allows you to record videos using your laptop as your presentation, or your laptop and you, whichever way you like it. It's what I use here for these presentation videos. And in the 3 to 5 minute presentation, you won't be able to tell us, excuse me, everything that is in your concept map. You want to walk us through the big picture of it, show how the concept map illustrates the various theories and approaches and how they fit together, and then maybe take one theory and approach and go over the detailed information. So you will put that together, the concept map with its creativity, the comprehensive information, and then post the 3 to 5 minute presentation explaining it. So that goes over the concept map, which isn't due until Monday, July 2nd. However, already next week is week 3. Somewhere in week 3 and week 4, I really encourage students to identify the metaphor or illustration or image they're going to use so that they can begin to work on it and begin to compile the information and arrange it as they go through the term, not leaving all the work to the end. So, okay, so that explains the theory matrix assignment and the concept mapped assignment. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email or text me or Heather, and we will answer them. And hopefully that is clear. Thank you.